Welcome, everybody. I am Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon and The Blackest Heart, both published by Simon & Schuster's Saga Press. Today, I'm going to be reviewing Louis L'Amour, The Mountain Valley War, book number 2 in his Kilkenny the Gunslinger series. This book came out in 1947, shortly after The Rider of the Lost Creek came out. This was book number 1 in the Kilkenny Trilogy, book number 2. He wrote these books under the pseudonym Jim Mayo. Louis L'Amour is his real name, but when he first started his career, they didn't want to go with Louis L'Amour. They wanted to go with Jim Mayo, the Western writer. And they gave him, he shopped these 2 books around to a lot of publishers, and he got rejected by a lot of people. Finally, a publisher decided to take him, but they said, you got to rewrite your books. We will give you a publishing contract, but you just need to rewrite the stories to our specification. And Louis L'Amour was kind of like, I don't know if I really want to do that. Because back in the day, back in the 1940s, he wrote these things on a typewriter. And not a word processor. It's easier to do edits, especially rewriting entire books if you have a word processor. If you have a typewriter. Now, for those of you young folks that don't know what a typewriter is, let me explain. Just imagine a metallic steampunk version of a computer and a printer combined. It's got you type on it. You type on it like a normal keyboard, but it's got these mechanical steampunky things that and then you go and it types right there on the paper for you. So it's kind of like a computer and a printer all in one steampunk version. They're actually kind of cool. People even collect them now. And that's just a history lesson for you youngsters that didn't know that. Anyway, so he ended up rewriting the books. He published The Rider of Lost Creek and The Mountain Valley War under the name Jim Mayo, and they were just they were kind of like Saturday matinee westerns. Every chapter ends on a cliffhanger. There's a lot of action and adventure. I really compare them to they're sort of like Louis L'Amour's version of Indiana Jones, but with a reluctant gunfighter Kilkenny. So in this book, Kilkenny is now, he's been a gunfighter in this book, and now he's a reluctant gunfighter sort of traveling the West. And he goes by the name of Trent. In fact, the original title of this, before the publisher made him edit everything and change everything, the original title was A Man Called Trent. And the publisher was like, well, that's confusing because it's about your guy Kilkenny. Why do we want to call it A Man Called Trent? It's going to confuse the readers. They want to Kilkenny. But anyway, so throughout most of the book, he's known as The Man Called Trent. But everybody knows that he's Kilkenny, the reluctant gunslinger. And he does lots of gunslinging things. This is these books, this trilogy, which includes Rider of the Lost Creek, Mountain Valley War, and the final one is actually called Kilkenny, right there. These are quick reads. These are probably the quickest reads Western. Even, Louis L'Amour is known for his realistic Westerns, where everything takes place in the West and it's based on realism. These are more kind of like fast Tarzan of the Apes, John Carter of Mars, Conan the Barbarian, just fast little, Doc Savage type Saturday matinee, really fast, easy read Westerns. I read each one of these in maybe 45 minutes. So they're very easy to get through, very entertaining, very well written, as Louis L'Amour has always been a good writer. What's this one about? Well, let's start with a bad man. King Hale was a greedy, powerful man. But his son was something even worse, an utterly ruthless killer. When the Hales came down on a group of harmless farmers, they took on an unexpected enemy. His real name was Kilkenny, but he called himself Trent and hid a courageous and violent legacy. Now, in the Idaho high country, A war has begun. The Hales have the guns, the money, and the men. The farmers only have one ally, a man who'd come to avoid trouble but wouldn't run if it found him. And when the shooting began, Trent swore on his honor to stand his ground, alive or dead, because everybody knows of the gunslinger Kilkenny. But they just think this dude is Trent. He's a man called Trent, the original title of the book. But when they find out he's really Kilkenny, the deadly gunslinger, oh my gosh, things change. Now everybody's scared. They're scared. They're scared, but they're in the middle of a mountain valley war and they can't back out. So, it's a good, fun little Western, Louis L'Amour's first, books. I think he gets a lot better, but this is great stuff. And I give this a good 7.5 out of 10. I think anybody that reads this trilogy going to enjoy it.